calls Tracy Manitos to the stand. Before we begin, permission to set up the courtroom for the use of a demonstrative.
Your Honor, at the time when they set up that demonstrative, may I be able to move in on the feet?
May I proceed? Yeah. Please introduce yourself to the court.
Hi, I'm Tracy Manitos.
Manitos, what do you do for a living?
I'm sort of in between jobs right now. My husband Tony and I, we used to own Chuggy's Bar right here in Midlands. It was the hot spot for all the college kids because it was right by Midlands State. Unfortunately, we were shut down for not checking IDs closely enough. Just a couple months later, Tony and I went through a huge rough patch and ended up filing for divorce. He took everything, the house, the dog. I was left basically on the streets. Luckily, my stepbrother Chase, he let me move in with him.
How is living with Chase?
I mean, I can't thank Chase enough. I earn my keeps living with him. I pick up around the house, do the laundry, walk the dog, you name it, I do it. It's the least I can do.
So let's talk about why you're here. Can you tell us how you were involved?
Well, you brought me here. I got a knock on the door. This person in a fancy suit handed me a subpoena, told me I had to be here because I had to answer some questions about my stepbrother.
So before we get into some of the evidence that you found, let's talk about some of the main figures in this case. Are you familiar with Avery Bancroft?
I am. Mr. Bancroft, he owns the Black Bear Casino here in Midlands. He was also applying for the casino proposal that Chase's Gambling Commission was giving out, so he came over for drinks with Chase and I around Thanksgiving of last year.
Do you recall any specific conversations about that meeting over Thanksgiving?
They were talking about how they'd make history if Bancroft owned 2 casinos here in Midlands. Bancroft was also saying that he's willing to go above and beyond just putting together a proposal, willing to go the extra mile.
How was Chase Covington's reaction?
Chase just looked over at Bancroft and winked at him.
So, since you lived with the defendant, what do you know about the defendant's role at the Midlands Gambling Commission?
I don't know all that much, just what Chase has really told me. I was actually there the day Chase was appointed by the governor. I know there's 2 other people on the commission who don't seem to really get along, so they tend to vote differently on a lot of things, leaving Chase the deciding vote and giving him this reputation of being somebody with a lot of power with the commission.
Has the defendant ever mentioned this reputation for power before?
Kind of. I was really concerned about finding another job, especially after what happened with Chuggy's, but Chase told me not to worry. People actually owed him for his votes and he could help me find another job.
So let's talk about some of the evidence in this case. Did you find any evidence in the home?
I actually found a napkin with some writing on it and a bank statement, and I handed both of those over to the police.
Would you recognize the napkin if I showed it to you today?
I would.
Your Honor, permission to approach the bench to retrieve States 1. Ms. Manitos, is this the napkin you found?
Yes, it is.
When did you find it?
I was actually doing some of Chase's laundry, and I found it in his jacket pocket sometime around April 15th, middle of April or so.
Permission to retender evidence to the bench? And permission to retrieve the bank statement?
Yeah, you can take over.
Ms. Manitos, you also said you found a bank statement. Would you recognize that if I showed it to you?
I would.
I'm approaching the witness to hand over document States 4. Ms. Manitos, could you just identify what I've handed you?
This is that bank statement that I had found.
Is that the same bank statement you found on the day in April?
Yes, it is.
And have you read through this document before?
I have, yes.
Your Honor, permission to use a demonstrative relating to bank statement? Ms. Manitos, I'd like to go through some of the steps, some of the specific transactions in here. First off, was there a withdrawal on April 1st?
Yes, there was a $100,000 withdrawal.
After that withdrawal, was there an appearance at the Black Bear Casino?
There was.
So let's move to April 6th now. On April 6th, was there a cash withdrawal?
There was. This one was for $50,000.
And immediately following that withdrawal, was there an appearance at the Black Bear Casino?
Yes.
On April 16th, 2015, was there a cash withdrawal?
No, there wasn't.
But was there an appearance at the Black Bear following anything else on there?
Yes, there is an appearance at the Black Bear on the 16th.
Ms. Benitez, just to follow up, was the defendant a gambler?
Yeah, I would find poker chips in Chase's pockets all the time doing the laundry.
Objection to relevance, Your Honor.
May I respond? Your Honor, the theory regarding this demonstrative and regarding the bank statement is that every single time the defendant went to the casino, he withdrew cash beforehand. Now, if the witness knows that the defendant is a gambler, and she would be able to testify directly to whether or not she's seen any withdrawals, seen any cash around the house, and seen anything regarding whether or not there was withdrawal on the 16th. This is very relevant to today's case.
May I respond, Your Honor?
Sure.
What opposing counsel has just told us is he has just told us a story built upon speculation. He said that every time that Mr. Covington withdrew money, that he went to the Black Bear Casino. Opposing counsel doesn't know the purpose of why Mr. Covington withdrew money or why he went to the Black Bear Casino. Further on, this witness does not have the personal knowledge to testify to what she's testifying to.
May I respond?
Yeah, well, so it's my understanding that's sort of what she's going to be testifying about is for what she knows of what he does at the casino.
No, Your Honor. What the witness is testifying to is what she observed in the bank statement.
Right, no, I know that's what she already testified to, but we're talking about what she's going to testify to, whether or not it's relevant. Can you just tell me what it is that she's going to testify to?
Yes, especially specifically with the question about if she knows Chase is a gambler, relates directly to whether or not she actually has the knowledge that he goes to the casino on these dates. It's to further the foundation that she's familiar with things such as things on the bank statement. It's merely foundational. We will not be delving into any speculative information.
I'll allow it at this point. Sort of see where we go.
So, Ms. Benitez, just to clarify, was the defendant a gambler to the best of your knowledge?
Yeah, Chase would go to the casino pretty often. I'd find poker chips from the Black Bear when I was doing his laundry.
Have you seen any cash laying around the house before?
I have, yes.
Thank you, Ms. Benitez. I have nothing further. Opposing counsel like me to keep the demonstrative up or take it down?
Keep it up.